Before we get into Conference Championship Friday, I guess the next few minutes are a Football Friday, live right here on the early line. Plenty of trades and transactions yesterday afternoon around the National Football League, with the league year officially underway as of Wednesday. Late last night, Keenan Allen, who has spent the entirety of his career in the National Football League with the Chargers organization, traded from L.A. to Chicago in exchange for a fourth-round pick. Whoever the QB in the Windy City ends up being, they got a steady veteran presence in Keenan Allen, who I think Justin Herbert is going to miss a ton in 2024.
This is great here, right? You take a look at Justin Fields, who they traded up to get as their franchise guy. Did absolutely nothing for him at the skill positions. Now it looks like he's on his way out, and they are beefing up. Because if you take DJ Moore and Keenan Allen as a 1-2 start here, and let's just say you get your quarterback number 1 overall and still have a top 10 pick behind it and get another wide receiver with adding DeAndre Swift, it's almost not even fair. It's like, what did I do to deserve this? As Fields leaves out of town, saying to himself, but I love what the Bears are doing. We knew they had draft capital. We knew they had money coming into the offseason. I love this stuff. For a fourth-round draft pick to get a solid wide receiver that you'll probably just re-up him over the next couple years and even lower his salary cap number, I love what the Bears are doing, Ben. I do.
Injuries were a concern for Keenan Allen early in his career out of Cal. He spent all 11 seasons with this Chargers franchise, but even last year, Donnie, 108 grabs, 150 targets, more than 1,200 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns in year number 11. The guy still has some juice, whether it is Caleb Williams, 99.99%, it is Caleb as Chicago's starting quarterback, or Justin Fields. You got yourself a primary target and weapon in Chicago. I wonder what the Chargers are doing first year under Jim Harbaugh. Both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen now no longer Chargers after having been there together for the better portion of the last 7 years. Quarterback trade yesterday as well between Washington and Seattle. The Commanders sending Sam Howell and a couple of other picks to the Seahawks. In exchange, the Commanders will get a third-rounder and a sixth-rounder as well. Geno Smith signed, retained. Sam Howell now in the Pacific Northwest as well.
Yeah, good backup option there for Seattle. Don't have any issues with this. And also, if you're looking at it from a Commander's perspective, they basically retooled their entire team and are setting the stage for drafting their franchise guy, already getting a backup quarterback in Marcus Mariota. So should be a fun season here for the Commanders, and at least for the first time in a long time, the Commanders fans actually have hope here. Looks like that's the case. But I like this move for both franchises here. You get a look-see for Sam Howell out there on the West Coast as well.
And we saw another swap yesterday. Desmond Ridder, who was drafted in the third round of that 2022 NFL draft, the starter in Atlanta last year, traded to Arizona. In return, the Falcons will get Rondale Moore, another speedy piece on that offensive side for new quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I like where this is going for Atlanta right now. You might not love the wide receiver names you're hearing, but you got to fit it in. You have that number 1 in Drake London, and you add absolute speedsters in Darnell Mooney, and also getting more now. Who knows what they'll do in the draft? You already have a pretty speedy and athletic tight end, and also an ultra-speedy tailback here. Things are looking up in Atlanta.
Who knows who's catching the passes in Arizona for Kyler Murray, because also yesterday, Marquise Hollywood Brown signing a new deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's some speed for Patrick Mahomes as well. Football Friday done. Conference Championship Friday in college hoops begins. A stunner last night on quarterfinal Thursday at the Big East Tournament. Creighton, the 2 seed in the tourney, who reached the tournament final just a season ago with a generous draw in the bottom half of the bracket away from Connecticut, stunned in their opener by Providence. The Friars and Kim English now a perfect 2-4-2 this year inside Madison Square Garden. Providence wins 78-73 outright as a 7.5-point underdog. Providence now bolstering that NCAA tournament resume, maybe even on the right side of the bubble.
Yeah, I didn't see that at that point here, but here come the bid stealers, right? Providence, like, they're going to be knocked out early in that tournament. You win another game, and now you're putting yourself right on the precipice of possibly getting one of those at-large bids here as we move forward. That's a great victory. Creighton's a good ball club, plays good defense here, but also getting that slingshot effect for Providence, playing well in the Garden, rolling it over. Let's see what the Friars can do moving forward.
Another upset in the ACC tournament. Duke in its opener on quarterfinal Thursday in D.C. knocked out. One and done. NC State victorious 74-69. DRS, the Wolfpack, win outright as a double-digit dog. They got 11.5 points pregame.
Yeah, basically wire to wire, looked like the better basketball team overall. And this is why I don't trust the ACC at all. There were two teams in the ACC. It's Duke and Carolina. And I've been telling you guys for weeks, Carolina's much better than Duke at this point. I don't expect a lot of rumblings, even though I am cheering on UNC to get through this weekend with a conference tournament championship to cash in a ticket. But I'll tell you guys right now, I'm not looking forward to North Carolina betting any of their futures in March Madness.
What a wild 2.5 weeks it has been for Duke, despite 28-14 from the injured man who was saved himself, Kyle Filipowski. Duke goes down in the ACC quarterfinals. NBA action quickly. The Celtics handle the Suns in the marquee game of the night behind 37 points from Jaylen Brown. And as of this moment, Gerrit Cole will not require Tommy John surgery on that injured pitching elbow. Timeline to return still a little bit up in the air. Back on the early line next.